Welcome to No More Chichos. It's been a minute, so let's jump right in it. If you follow us on Instagram, which you should, No More Chichos, you know already that we chose meal planning as a topic for this month. That means for the rest of the month, we'll be sharing tips for success when it comes to meal planning. The first video in this series is going to discuss what meal planning is. So ask yourself, what is meal planning? Meal planning is a way of asking yourself what's for dinner, what's for breakfast, what's for lunch every single day of the week, and getting the things that you need for those meals and preparing them in advance as you see fit. And that's really all it is. However, it can be a little bit complicated when you add things like your daily life, unplanned events, or just anything really. So, why is meal planning important? That's what you might be asking yourself now. Well, we like to think about 3 things that make meal planning very important. The first is that it saves you time. If you take out some time of your week to plan out meals for the rest of your week, you'll be saving a lot of time of cooking and giving yourself more time to spend with your family, with yourself, with any other activities that you want to do because you're not stressed out thinking about having to prepare a meal. Another thing that is really important about meal planning is it saves you stress. You know those days where you wake up, you have no time to make breakfast or lunch and forget about dinner. Meal planning is a great way to take out those daily stresses in your life and set you up for success. The last tip that makes meal planning very important is that it saves you money. And who doesn't like to save money? I sure know that I do. So, why does it save you money? Well, a lot of the ingredients that you'll purchase when you're meal planning, you can purchase in bulk. And additionally, you won't be spending money in places like the bodega to get your lunch or that trendy new business that just opened up that sells a very annoying salad that costs $13. Whatever it is, meal planning will help decrease your costs so that you can spend your money on other things or just save your money in general so you don't have to spend money. When we are talking about meal planning, there's 3 tips for success that we like to follow. The first is to be flexible. The second is to use your freezer. And the third is to find your weakness. So when we talk about being flexible, we really mean be flexible. Sometimes when we're meal planning, we'll have the whole week planned out with everything that we're gonna eat. Our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner, our snack, everything. But then something happens. Someone invites us out for drinks after work. We have to go babysit for our sister. We end up having dinner with a friend that we didn't expect. All these things can change the way that we plan our meals, and that's okay. It's important to be flexible so that when these things do happen, you're able to just jump through it, enjoy whatever the thing is, and then just continue on your meal plan as you expected for yourself. A good thing that we like to do when we're meal planning and we know we're going to have events like this is that we include it in our meal plan. And we'll talk about that in another video when we actually break down how we plan for the week. Another tip for success is using your freezer. So a lot of people just put things in their freezer and don't really know what goes in there. It's like a void or a black hole or anything. It just sucks things up. But your freezer is actually your friend. And for things like we just talked about and being flexible, if you just made your meals and then something happened where you can't eat it, you can pack that meal in a freezer and save it for another day, and then you already have a meal that's prepared and all you have to do is defrost and heat up and eat it. Additionally, with your freezer, which we'll talk about in a different video, is that you can organize your freezer in a way so that you know what's in there at all times, and it'll help you plan your week much better. The last tip that we like to focus on for success is finding your weakness. What we mean by find your weakness is to think about your week. Think about your week every week and what actually is your point where you find struggles. For some people, it's breakfast. You'd be amazed how many people do not eat breakfast simply because they just haven't prepared something. So when we're thinking about meal planning, it's really important to think of your week and what areas do you find yourself struggling the most. Maybe you don't have enough snacks, so you're constantly eating whatever is around you, and planning out some snacks that you can bring along with you will really help you. Whatever it is, we'll help you walk through those steps to help you find your weakness with our sheet that you're going to be able to download in the link below after this video. Last two things that we want to touch base on before we leave is 2 ways to meal plan. One is cooking all of your ingredients and all of your meals at the beginning of the week so that you can just eat them throughout the week. Another way to meal plan is to cut the ingredients and prepare the ingredients and wash the ingredients in advance so that all you have to do is cook or grab the foods as you need. These two styles of meal prepping work for different kinds of people, and they're both important to include when we're talking about meal planning for the week. The second tip to prepare all the ingredients works for people that don't like to eat leftovers. This makes it easier for these people to just have the ingredients that they need so that they can just take the ingredients, get to cooking, make the meals, and eat it. And they don't necessarily have to worry about chopping, which takes a lot of time, or washing, which takes some time too. When we talk on our next video, which will be about how to meal plan, we'll share tips for success on what steps that you should take to make your meals that much easier to make. That's all for today. Make sure you tune into our next video where we talk about where to start for meal planning. But right now, we want you to take a second, download this guide that we have below, which will help you understand why you want to meal plan. It's a little prompt that we've created for you so that you can ask yourself, what is it that makes me want to meal plan, and how can I make meal planning a priority for myself, for my family, or just for anyone that I really care about. Until next time, we'll see you later, comadres.